Just a quick one, my labs, because I'm meant to be doing something else. And if you hear moaning during this, the baby's having a grunt bum day. He's with the husband, he's fine, but he's having a grunt bum day. Nothing's pleasing that child today. So I did a video a month ago saying what we were reading in our homeschool. We used to cover between 40 to 60 books a year. But then when Bod and Pink were 5 and 7, stopped falling asleep at night while we was reading, because we do read aloud at night, they become quite destructive. They haven't got the attention spans for it that Pudge and Bean had at that age. Pinky, who's 5, ain't so bad. Sometimes she'll listen, but Bod, who's 7, no. And I fought against it for a long while, but now it's got to a point where the husband just has them for however long while we do chapter the read aloud books, and then they come and join us, and then we do the picture books. And it's worked out loads better because I've just accepted that they're just not ready yet. We're reading loads more again, and nobody's getting stressed or irate. It's not being constantly interrupted. They can then come and enjoy their books, and then they go to bed. So I'll show you what we've been reading since last time I spoke to my loves. I think at the end of the last video, the last thing we read was Secret 7, 3 books in 1. But I might be wrong, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think that was the last thing we read that I'll let you know of. Then we read Jacqueline Wilson, The Worst Thing About My Sister, which we've read before. But Beanie likes it. These two sisters suddenly find they have to share a room because their mum needs the other bedroom for something. And they don't get on. And then Pudge picked The Demon Dentist. We've read that once before. It's your usual David Walliams fare. It's a bit dark, this one, in places, but they did enjoy it, and we rattled through this. We got through it really quickly because it's a beast. Look, we got through it really quickly. They really enjoyed it. And then the Roald Dahl, Beanie went to pick a Jacqueline Wilson Rent a Bridesmaid, but we've read that about 4 times. I said, look, just pick something different, because there's hundreds of books on that bookshelf waiting to be read, and we keep reading the same books. So in the end we picked Roald Dahl. We've read SEO Trot, and we've read The Twits, but we've never read The Witches or The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me. So the original plan was just to read The Witches and The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, but they enjoyed The Witches so much. It freaked Beanie out a bit to begin with, but they soon got into it. But because he enjoyed The Witches so much, we ended up just reading the lot. I've never heard of The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me before, but it's quite a sweet story about the window cleaners. The giraffe's the ladder, the pelican's the bucket, and there's a monkey who actually cleans the windows. That was quite a sweet book, and you never hear of that one, do you? So that was a beast and all that. Then we read Jacqueline Wilson, The Suitcase Kid. I had this one when I was a kid, but we've never actually read it before. It's about a girl whose mum and dad split up, and she doesn't want to live all the time at her mum's or all the time at her dad's. She wants them all to live together, but she ends up doing 1 week to mum's, 1 week to dad's. And that's why she cut Suitcase Kid, because she's constantly travelling between houses. And what happens there? And we rattled through this one, but this one's not very thick. It's like an ABC one, like every... I can find it, like every chapter's like, look, A is for Andy. They're quite short chapters, which is probably our C is for Cottage. I missed B out there, but you know what I'm saying. And they did enjoy that one. We're starting this tonight. Pudge has picked it. We've never read this before. It's called Little Darlings by Jacqueline Wilson. Oh, I missed one out. Hang on, let me go get it. We read one between Roald Dahl and Jacqueline Wilson. I've just remembered it. I'll go get it in a moment and show you. But we'd never read this before. But it looks like one of them's famous or something. So we're going to start that. Look at that. Never read it. It's a fault with the printing. Hang on. Here you are, look. Between Roald Dahl and The Suitcase Kid, we read this one. I forgot about it. I randomly picked it up out of the library. It needs to go back. It's only that thick. There's this kid called Finn. Turns out he's set in the Hebrides. Long time ago. this kid called Finn, his dad's like the chieftain, and his dad always goes on a trading journey between the different farmers and stuff every year, and he doesn't want to go because he doesn't want to be a chieftain, he doesn't want to be a farmer, he wants to be a Viking when he grows up. So his dad says, fine, don't come, I'm leaving you in charge while I'm away. This kid's 14, and while they're away, the Vikings attack, and there's an old bloke who lives just outside the village who was a Viking, and he helps him. He says don't do what they expect you to do. Don't try and defend the walls and what have you. Open the doors and just let them in and set traps. It's quite good. There's a little bit of blood in it, but it's quite good. Yeah, we enjoyed that. I'm going to pick up a random one from the library next time and all, I think. Attack of the Vikings. Fa, 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 fa. The last book I wanted to show you is one I've been reading. Homeschooling 101, A Guide to Getting Started. Now, the reason I bought it was, when I was first thinking of home education a long time ago, one of the channels I found on YouTube was called Confessions of a Homeschooler. And I revisited one of her old videos a few weeks ago. She doesn't do about home education anymore. Her channel's not called Confession of a Homeschooler now. It's called Erica Aunt. I'm probably saying that wrong. Erica Aunt. It's just called a name now. She does crafty stuff. But the old homeschool videos are on there. And this book was too much money at the time. And I saw it on Amazon second hand for £1.11, which is really cheap. And I thought, stuff it, I'll have it. It's just, I haven't read it all yet, because I've had eye infections and stuff. So when I have been able to read them, reading to kids, I'm there, look. It's basically just talking you through. There's an awful lot of things that don't apply to me, like homeschool co-op and assessment and statutory tests and curriculum and state laws, things that just don't apply to home education in England but would be really helpful to somebody in America. And it was just interesting to me because there's a lot of things in here that I agree with and I can relate to, but also it just shows you, because she's a lot stricter than me and a lot different to me, and it just shows you that no two people's home education is the same. We've all got different ways of doing it. And it just showed me that how far I've come in my style and how I do it. Because if I'd have read this when I was first looking into it, I might have thought, oh, you meant to do it like that, you meant to do it like this, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Not because she writes it like that, but because I would be taking her lead. And in actual fact, the way we home educate is wildly different to some of the advice she's given in this book. And that doesn't mean it's not useful advice. It just means everybody's different. So you might pick and choose advice from people, but you can't replicate somebody else's home education because it's different. Everybody's is different. But there's a bit of gum for the back, look. But yeah, it's minimise distractions, outside commitments, homeschool burnout. So that's why I'm reading at the minute, though it's taking me a while because, like I said, I've been suffering from headaches in my eyes last couple of weeks. But there you go. While we're on the subject of books, my loves, we're trying to pay for Gary's mum's headstone, so excuse me for shoving it in your face. I've got 2 books out. Home Educating the Mad Lads, Our Journey to Home Education and Our Homeschool Life So Far. That is a collection of old blog posts, and it's basically what it says. It's how we came to home educate. It's our story. And then this one, the Homeschool Handbook, which is being serialised on my Patreon. So I'm going to link my Patreon below, because you get, on my Patreon, you get this book serialised, any belly dancing classes I'm doing, all my homeschool and large family vlogs, and anything else random I put on there for £3 a month. But this one, the new one, the Homeschool Handbook, All You Need to Know to Home Educate Your Child in the UK, that's more a factual one, you know, explaining different terms and talking you through it. So it's not as personal as that one, but yeah, they're both available, my loves, if you fancy it. I'll see you next time.